you can never return to the opening area of Final Fantasy XII. I love the exclusivity to spots like this. During a game's playthrough, you never really know if a place you're in is somewhere you'll be able to revisit later. It's only after you leave that you learn you passed a point of no return. Developers are usually good about not putting important things in locations like this. FF12 is no exception. But still, knowing I won't be able to return, I can't help but focus on the details more than I would normally. Like the exterior here. I probably wouldn't give this area a second glance if it were a place I could return to later. I wouldn't have wandered around a bit and noticed that you can walk in the water here. The camera kinda sucks, unfortunately. It's hard to get a good look at things with your character being in the way like that. It's always sad when a game has a bad camera that hinders my job as a tour guide. Unless... There we go. That feels much better. Got some glass dome things? Huh. You know what? I'm getting Naboo from Star Wars The Phantom Menace vibes from this place. The architecture you see from here is reminiscent of that. The area right after that is super grand. You start to get a good vibe of the design style that you'll see throughout this game. This is the HD remaster, but you can just tell that a lot of this detail was in the original release of the game. That's something I always associate with Final Fantasy XII. Just an insane amount of unnecessary, yet much appreciated detail to all the environments. Oh my god, I love this. I love when games would use flat planes with an image on them to convey depth. You can so easily notice where the 3D hallway transitions to the 2D hallway. I bet this didn't stick out nearly as much in the original. It's quaint. Something this game really likes to do is put you in mazes with a lot of dead ends. Sometimes you'll find a chest in them, but a lot of the time there's just nothing. This style of map design creates a lot of what I would call interesting spots in any other game, but in Final Fantasy XII here, you're just inundated with them. Random dead ends that serve no purpose are the norm. Just so we aren't here for literally 21 hours, I won't talk about every one I come across. That's it for Nalbina Fortress. After some story cutscenes, you are finally ready to head out into the world and explore Ivalice. Oh, welcome to Video Game World Tours, and this is Final Fantasy XII. You're dropped right into the bustling city of Rabanastre. It's kinda overwhelming at first. The opening cutscene of the game shows off this city, and it's beautiful. It's so expansive, and there's just so many people. It truly does seem massive. After the opening sequence, you finally get to explore it. For me at least, riding off the coattails of that cutscene, I was kinda expecting a big place to explore. But as is the nature of this game, Rabanastre is broken up into tiny bite-sized chunks. This is all you get to explore, just a fraction of what you see during the opening FMV. It's an interesting feeling, being able to only explore a tiny chunk of what I know is a massive city. It's like there's so much life in this place, only just out of view. That's not to say there's no life. In fact, there's a lot of NPCs wandering around. Actually, a kind of intimidating amount of them can be talked to. Look at all these green dots on the minimap. Like I usually do in RPGs, I tried to talk with all of them, but stopped once I realized what a commitment that would be for the whole playthrough. I like what it does for the game that they're available though. Even if you don't talk to them, you just assume that there's depth there. All these people have something to say if you're willing to listen. As for weirdo spots, there's a curved path along the north side of town. You can go up here if you really want, but if you're going to the clan hall, it's shorter to go across the straight bridge. I think I went along this curved path once for the story, and that's it. I bet most players did the same. In the southern plaza, there's a similarly not often explored spot. It's just a jaunt away from the center of the plaza that you'll go through dozens of times, but the game never forces you here. You get a look at the lower part of town that you don't normally see. Also, shout out to Lowtown. One of my Discord pretizens brings it up every now and then in the Interesting Spots channel, and likes to share some screenshots. I can see what he was talking about. It does feel like its own little world down here. There's so many shops selling everything under the sun. Weapons, food, books, just so much stuff. I actually do kind of feel the scale of the city here, where I didn't so much on the surface. I think my favorite spot in Rabanastre, though, is at this little waterfall. The flowing water and natural light from above combines together so well. There's even an NPC you can talk to called Water Watcher. That'd be me if I was in this world. I'd be sitting here, just like them, watching the water flow. Beneath Rabanastre is the Garamsythe Waterways. And honestly, I don't have much to say about this space. I just thought it was interesting how detailed it all is. Everything is so beautifully designed down here. The people of Rabanastre put in work to make this sewer look beautiful. You don't see this kind of stuff in real-life sewers. And trust me, if anyone would know, it'd be me. They don't call me Sewer Boy for nothing. After some story shenanigans, you get thrown in the Nalbina Dungeons. This is another spot you cannot return to. And it's kinda cute. There's a bunch of people to socialize with, a couple rooms that you could call home, and even some yummy water. Wouldn't you love to slurp this stuff up? This is a super cozy spot. And yeah, there really are a lot of people in here. I think this is the point where I realized I didn't want to talk to literally everyone I come across. The game genuinely throws so many at you, and it gets overwhelming if you try to do that. But it is nice that there's so many people in this nasty dungeon that are willing to talk to you. What a friendly space. I wrote down in my notes to cover a specific room in Barheim Passage. I don't remember what's special about it, but we'll take a look-see. Just up and through here. You know, it's genuinely not ringing any bells. This looks like every other area in the dungeon. I don't remember what yeah, I forgot about this tiny little room. It caught me off guard during my playthrough. So much of the dungeon has been lit up so warmly, and then you enter this room and there's cool lighting. It weirdly stands out because of that. Plus the fact that it's not just a straight hallway to the next room, the circular space breaks it up. It's like a weird micro detail to add in the grand scheme of things. This circular space existing doesn't add anything meaningful to the level. It would have been exactly the same if it was a plain boring hallway from one end to the other. But it adds the tiniest bit of flavor to the world, gives it a bit of texture. There's a lot of plain hallways in this game, so one finding some way to stand out is nice. Airship routes connect all the major cities of the game. When taking one, you can choose to either instantly travel there through a loading screen, or explore the airship yourself. When you're done exploring, you can return to your room and then you'll arrive at your destination. I love that there's a choice. For impatient people like me, I can choose to instantly arrive at the place I'm trying to go. But it's fun to explore the space at least once, see what the experience is like, you know? This feels almost like riding a train. I can totally imagine this would be the vibe if airships were a real form of public transit. People mulling about, doing their own thing, being able to buy stuff, even food. Though maybe you wouldn't be allowed to go up on the deck up top if this were real. That'd be a lawsuit waiting to happen. It is nice up here though. I'd try to sneak up onto the deck at least once, just for the experience. Your first airship flight takes you to the Sky City of Bhujerba. I love this place. Though I always love cities in the sky, so I was bound to love this. The NPCs are chill. Like there's a couple of them just sitting right on the railing, not a care in the world. I don't think I could ever be this nonchalant, hovering right above the abyss like that. But maybe Bhujerba will just do that to you, mellow you out. It is a lovely view off the side, so I understand why they'd want a better look at it from up here. Two areas to point out in this town. Most of the city outside the airship port is enclosed, claustrophobic almost. For being a city in the sky, you don't really feel that scale and wonder. But at Kuth Skygrounds, you do. This seems like a chill place for town inhabitants to gather and relax in. There's only one small shop, so most people in this space are here to just hang out. I bet this guy is selling pretzel merch he bought from pretzel.cc. I wouldn't get it from him though. He's probably asking an insane price for this stuff. Just go to the website yourself. Pretzel.cc I said it was. Don't forget it. You really feel the scale of the sky in Calf Terrace though. It's just such a beautiful sight all around. I particularly like the greenery that lines the city. You don't see much of that inside the city proper, but a little bit goes a long way here. The waterfalls too. I'm always a sucker for water pouring into a bottomless pit. And yes, I always question where the source of this water is and how it could endlessly flow. I can't help that my mind thinks like that. Eventually, you reach another area that you cannot revisit, the Dreadnought Leviathan. It's a mostly boring ship, at least in regards to what I look for in these videos, just a lot of nondescript hallways. Though there is one of note. In the sub-control room, there's a short one you can turn the corner and go down. It leads to a chest and that's it. But if you look on the mini-map, you'll see that this path isn't on it. It's unmarked for some reason. The game does this sometimes, and it has me puzzled. I know there's some randomness to chest spawning in Final Fantasy XII, but I don't think any item you could find in here would make this hidden room worthy. A space being hidden from the map usually indicates something special is in there, but not here. It's weird. It is weird. There's 2 regions near a sand sea. I can say with 100% certainty that a sand sea has been done before in media. FF12 definitely didn't come up with it, but it's the first I can ever recall seeing, and it's a memorable visual. Then you're climbing across these oil rig-like structures over the sand sea. I tried playing this game once or twice over the years before beating it for this video, and for some reason, this place always stuck out in my mind. Granted, I didn't get much further into my playthrough than this spot, so that might play into it a bit, but design-wise, it's kinda interesting. It's not a crazy, out-there, bonkers idea, but it's unique enough. Your journey across the sand sea leads you to King Wraithwall's tomb. First off, I just love the location. It's hard to get a sense of the geography when you're in here, but during the cutscene as you enter, you can see you walked into a tunnel that leads through a massive plateau. And on top of that plateau is another plateau. Right in the center of that is a tiny hole that houses Wraithwall Tomb. I'm a sucker for plateaus in games. There's something about the emptiness that you usually find on top of them that draws me to the structure, and this might be the grandest I've ever seen. If only you could get a sense of it in-game and not solely through an FMV, though I'm sure it would have looked much less impressive than this, so maybe it was better to keep it hidden outside of pre-rendered stuff. The inside of the tomb is insane. There's so much space and it's so detailed. Like really? All this was built just for one guy? Granted, he was the Dynast King, but still. I'm not complaining. I love when video games throw any semblance of realistic scale to the side in favor of something that looks cool. No tomb I've ever seen is as expansive as this in real life, but it looks cool, and that's all that matters. The next place I want to talk about is a bit further into the story. After you've spent basically the whole game up to this point traipsing around through desert environments, the game finally throws you a bone. The Osmone Plain. You finally get some green in the landscape. It still has a bit of a deserty, dry vibe to it, but I'll take what I can get. I'm tired of seeing orange and sand everywhere. The game really does immerse you in that for a while. It's genuinely a breath of fresh air reaching this. Also, you're not given a map super early in this region. Usually when you first enter an area, there's almost always a map to pick up nearby. Once you collect it, the whole region's layout is laid before you. I always thought that was weird, having a mechanic for you to slowly unveil the map, but then they almost always reveal it all before the player gets a chance to explore for themselves. I guess that was just to ease the player into the game. This is the first time I noticed not getting a map immediately, and it was nice. I had to actually pay attention to my surroundings, instead of keeping my eyes glued to the minimap. On the edge of Osmone Plain lies the Gulmore Jungle. It does say this is a jungle, but it feels more like a cave to me. Kinda wish there was some light peeking through the treetops. Wait, this is all floating above the ground floor. Look at that, you can't even see the bottom. And you never really see where the cave you enter from connects to this suspended bridge system in the trees. I wonder why all this was built instead of just sticking to the ground. It's kind of a vibe though, can't lie. I guess all this could have been built by the people from Erut Village. I love this place. It might be my favorite town in the game. The vibes are so calming. The mystical music with the dense fog comforts me. There's a lot of paths that lead deeper into the village, but they're blocked off. You're left to wonder about all the structures you can't see. It's hard to put into words why I precisely love this place. It's just dreamlike. On the edge of the jungle is Paramina Rift. Here we go. This is the change of pace I was looking for. Can't have an RPG without a snowy area. And through Paramina Rift, at the tippy top of the mountains, you'll find Mount Bur Omises. Unfortunately, some stuff happens to this place during the story. I really liked the vibes of it before that. But after that happens, it's raining and the music is sad. It's just kind of a bummer. It's still kinda cool though. Like there's this giant skull. It'd be awesome to hang out under there, I bet. Approaching the temple, it's just... wow, I love everything about this space. The view, the architecture, and the weird paths that you have to take to reach the center. It's a super memorable spot. Man, Vaughn has really come a long way from being a little kid goofing around in the sewers. And he still has a long way to go. Get subscribed for the next video where we finish our tour of Final Fantasy XII. Thanks for watching. See you Pretizens next time.